Love the movie, and I'm hoping, I know I've had a lot of interest here locally. We've been really pushing the movie, and because we really believe in it. And as you mentioned earlier, believe in Iowa itself. I guess that's the main thing about this is I feel, I guess, by promoting this movie, I'm not only promoting the movie, but I'm promoting Iowa and the Midwest as well.
I think that's right. I think it's absolutely right. I know. Thank you is what the first thing that I should say is. Thank you for doing that. Thank you on behalf of the movie and on behalf of everybody who worked on the movie and on behalf of the people who the movie depicts and represents and everything else. But on another standard, it's like, yeah, you should do that because this movie is of Norway, it's of Iowa, and it's the right thing to do to share the story of of your community, of your state with certainly the people in the state, but even beyond that, with like I said, the more people that watch it, the more opportunity there is for the movie to take on a life of its own. So, thank you very much, and I guess we'll see you when we're at some ball game or something in Iowa.
That's right. Well, I certainly appreciate you taking your time out today. And what are you working on these days, I guess?
We are really excited about a movie. My wife and I, my wife and she's my partner, my sort of producing partner and creative partner. Kind of as it should be, I suppose. But we adapted a screenplay, or just finishing putting the final, crossing the T's and dotting the I's on the screenplay for a book called Number the Stars, which is a book that a lot of middle school kids read. It won a Newbery Award in, I believe it's 1989, and it's about two 10-year-old girls in Denmark during the Nazi occupation in 1943. And for folks who don't know their Danish war history, the Nazis kind of, came in 1940 with a non-aggression pact. They kind of took stuff over, but it wasn't violent, largely non-violent. And they just kind of lived there, taking the resources of the Danish people, but not really hurting them. And then in 43, they decided to start going after the Jewish population. And the Danes reacted very quickly and kind of universally, but quietly, to evacuate 95% of their Jewish population. It was about 8,000, 9,000 people, something like that. And they got them smuggled over to Sweden, which was neutral and agreed to accept them. And it was a major kind of impromptu operation, fishing cargo, what do you call it, fishing boats and their cargo holds and all that kind of stuff. So it's basically the story of these two 10-year-old girls, one Jewish, one Lutheran, who lived, up in the same apartment. It's kind of like the Diary Anne Frank, but for much, she was kind of coming of age and coming into her sexuality, and it was a much more kind of horrible, stark, violent experience that she had. The folks in Denmark, it was a lot of kind of psychological pressure, and also they didn't have a lot of they were rationing for everything, so they didn't get the food they wanted, and they couldn't they had to work to stay warm and this stuff. So it's basically the friendship between these two 10-year-old girls and their families set against the backdrop of that war experience.
Well, great, and we'll certainly look for that as well. It sounds like an exciting project. And
Number the Stars by Lois Lowry. She also did The Giver, which a lot of people are reading right now, and I think is also being made into a movie. So
you're just a variety of things that you're working on: baseball movie, history book.
That's it. The thing about being in movies and television is, any day you can wake up and you'd be working on, you can be in a cartoon land, or you can. That's the other thing I'm doing is this cartoon series for Disney Channel. It's their Playhouse block in the mornings in Disney Playhouse.
Very familiar with it.
Are you? Yeah. Oh, all right. Well, now you're getting the inside skinny. I'm playing Oso. Oso means bear in Spanish, but Special Agent Oso is this little guy, little panda bear, who is he's a special agent in training, and at the beginning of every episode he's working on something, he's got to get his grappling hook, or he's on the space airlock, or down in the submarine, and he's got a train and a helicopter and all this kind of cool stuff, and he kind of bumbles his secret agent missions, his test missions, and then somewhere in that, he gets a call to go, and there's a kid in trouble, and one kid needs to learn how to make his bed, or one girl needs to learn how to mail a letter, or somebody to bake a pie, or all these different kind of things that kids do. And so Oso has to be choppered in and dropped off, and it's part of his mission to help them learn that skill or accomplish that task, jump roping, and a lot of that kind of stuff. So it's aimed for little kids. I mean, your son is a perfect age for Oso. In 3 years, maybe too old. we'll see. But I've spent a ton of time working on that. I didn't realize how much time I was going to spend on it, but it's been great. The other actors are really fun, and so that'll be on Disney Channel probably before the end of the year, or maybe just after the new year.
So it's only a matter of time before I have the theme song going through my head over and over and over again.
Well, some of the show, the early part of the show has this really cool stuff, but there is one. Psychology studies have shown that kids are really comforted by repetition. Mm-hmm. So we want to bang our heads into a wall, when some of those songs, we all know what they are. Come on. And this one has a nice, exciting, if you're 3, version of that. So I apologize ahead of time to you, and you're welcome to your son.
Well, Sean, I certainly appreciate, again, you taking time out of your schedule to be with us here this morning, and good luck on everything else you have coming up.
Thank you. We'll see you when I'm back in Iowa.
All right. Well, sounds good.
Bye.
You bet.